So I've been using the iPhone 15 Pro Max for about 2 months now, and when it launched, I kind of dismissed it as being a lackluster upgrade, incremental at best. But I have to admit, I was wrong, and there's a lot more to this upgrade than I thought. Let's ramble.
Hold up, face go wild when I pull up. They all on me like it wants.
Hey, what is up guys? It's great to see you all again, and if you're new here, I'm Patrick, and this is where I ramble about tech and other stuff. So I did order the iPhone in natural titanium originally because that was the color to get, but because of a little snafu, I ended up with this blue one. It's a bit of a long story. If you want to hear me rant about it, you can go check out my initial review. Anyway, in hindsight, I'm actually not salty at all. I love this blue titanium, and the fingerprints are not as bad as I thought they would be. I did plan to rock this phone naked, but having seen the reports of the fragile backside by the likes of Jerry Rig Everything, that started to make me nervous, so I'm using a case anyway. I'm currently using this very nice case by Andar, who have kindly agreed to sponsor this video. This is their brand new Aspen leather case. They sent me the blue one because I figured out it would look nice on my blue phone, and of course I also had to order the brown leather one too. If you're an OG to the channel, you already know I'm a sucker for brown leather accessories. Take that as you will. These are truly beautiful though, premium full grain oil waxed leather with alloy metal buttons. I don't like the mushy buttons you get on some cases, so I really love these. Also, good job for adjusting the action button to be an actual button. I tried a few cases with a cutout, and it's just nearly impossible to get to the action button that way. In fact, most of the things I appreciate on a phone case are here. Soft microfiber lining so it doesn't scratch up the phone, a raised camera cutout so when you lay it flat on the table, the lenses are protected, and it's MagSafe and wireless charging compatible. I thought the blue would look the best, but I'm actually digging this brown as well. It's a nice contrast. What I like about high quality leather cases is that they develop a patina over time, which gives them a bit of extra character, if you will. With that said, I do realize that not everybody is a fan of leather, and there are other options like this blank color that is made from cactus leather, which is of course 100% vegan leather. So yeah, if you're looking for a high quality, stylish case, definitely check out Andar. There's a link in the description below, and if you use the code PatrickRambles at checkout, you can snag a 15% discount off your order. Anyway, when the new iPhones had just come out, people were falling over themselves to get to Twitter or X to complain about the overheating. Ooh, I can cook a steak on my iPhone, what an outrage. And guess what? Firmware update came out, problem solved. People really need to chill. It is completely normal for a product that just launched to come with some teething problems. It's the same with cameras and most other tech products. They launch, there's a few issues, they roll out a firmware update, and presto, problems are solved. I was never worried about the overheating, and even before Apple fixed it, I hadn't really experienced any of it personally. The bigger storage has actually been a blessing. Files and games are getting bigger and bigger these days, so 256 gigabytes should be the bare minimum, at least for me. But in the case of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, having an adequate amount of storage is probably even more relevant because a lot of people buy this phone over the other models because of the excellent camera system. And if you plan to use your iPhone to shoot a lot of videos, investing in a higher storage option is definitely a good idea. I had initially opted for the 256 gigabyte version, but the same snafu that caused me to end up with the blue version instead of the natural titanium also caused me to end up with a higher storage option, namely the 512 gigabyte version, and in hindsight, I could not be happier about this mistake, because not having to worry about storage when filming is worth the higher price tag to me. Now, the cameras on the iPhone 15 Pro Max really are fantastic, especially in combination with the software. Ironically, the big distinguishing feature on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, which is the 120mm equivalent 5x zoom, I hardly ever use. What I do use, and this is where I believe the magic really is Apple Log. It is absolutely incredible to me to have this feature on a smartphone now, and the ability to shoot in a flat profile makes it a little bit easier to get my iPhone footage to match the footage out of my Sony cameras. Of course, it will never be a perfect match, but I'm pretty confident most people wouldn't be able to distinguish a quick iPhone shot in one of my videos, and that's pretty awesome. I'm now much more inclined to grab the iPhone to get a quick shot whenever I don't have a camera with me, and I'll feel totally confident that I'll be able to use that footage in my videos. That alone has made this upgrade worth it for me. There are a few caveats to getting the maximum out of this camera though. To start, you cannot shoot 60 frames a second in 4K, which is what you need to get that smooth slow motion footage later on, unless you hook up an SSD drive. You just can't. It doesn't show the option. As soon as the SSD is connected though, the option is there and it will have to be in ProRes. Now, in my opinion, that is what you want to do anyway, because ProRes looks infinitely better and the files are easier to handle on your Mac. And what you'll see is that the phone tells you how many minutes you have left to shoot. That's how large these files are, as we talked about earlier. Now, imagine having to transfer those files to your Mac using a lightning cable. It would take hours, if not days. So for all you USB-C naysayers, this is one of the many reasons why we actually did need that upgrade. Now, to shoot in Apple Log, that flat profile, you need to go into the settings. The option is not there by default. Go into settings, camera app, go to formats, and then at the very bottom, tap ProRes encoding. It will be on HDR by default, but if you change it to log and go back into the camera app, when you turn on ProRes, you will now see this very flat profile, so you know you're shooting in log. I've set up the action button to be my camera button, by the way. It just makes it that much quicker to just whip out the phone and start shooting in those moments where it counts. Of course, it can be a bit of a challenge shooting video with an SSD drive dangling off your phone. I have sort of MacGyvered a case where I use command strips to attach the SSD semi-permanently, but still. However, there are lighter and smaller options. For example, I took one of my fast SD cards that I use with my Sony cameras, stuck it into this cheap SD card reader that I've had for years, and it works perfectly. The phone recognizes it, it shoots video onto it, but it will also read the files that were already on there from the actual camera. So imagine you're out shooting with your camera and suddenly the SD card is full. You could, if your iPhone has enough storage, dump the files onto your phone, format the card, and keep shooting on your camera, essentially using the iPhone as on-the-go storage. One last thing I really like about this camera, and then I'll shut up about it, is the fact that you can shoot photos and then turn them into portraits later. It saves so much information within the image that you can literally go in after taking it and decide where the focus should be. I never actually go in and choose portrait mode now, because I just snap whatever I need and worry about that later. Now, this USB-C upgrade, I mean, we kind of joked about it a little bit. We all know the EU made Apple do it, and they're super late to the party, but it does really make the iPhone a lot more useful and a lot more versatile. We just talked about the camera file transfers, which are now actually feasible, but the USB-C port opens up a lot more possibilities. And so far, Apple's been surprisingly non-restrictive about how we use the USB-C port. One of the applications I've been using it with is gaming. The 15 Pro Max comes with Apple's latest A17 Pro chip, which is what drives those fast USB-C speeds, but it also gives the iPhone a considerable boost in the gaming department. So you can now hook up your iPhone to a USB-C display, hook up a Bluetooth controller, and you've got yourself a mini portable gaming console. And with those AAA gaming titles reportedly coming to the iPhone, this could be really useful for traveling, for instance. What I also love to do is hook up my X-Real AR glasses to the iPhone. There's a full review of these on my channel if you're interested. I won't go into too much detail now, but basically these mirror whatever is on your iPhone screen onto a giant virtual screen, so you could be sitting on the bus or on a plane watching a movie or playing a game on this massive screen. Before USB-C, we needed to buy a specific adapter to make this work. Now you just stick it into the USB-C port direct and it works instantly. There are so many more use cases for this USB-C port. I've seen people hook up entire preamps and microphone rigs to it. The sky seems to be the limit as long as the iPhone provides enough power to whatever you hook up to it. A few small observations. The phone is 10% lighter, and while that doesn't seem like a lot, it actually is noticeable in the long run. Also, battery life has been consistently great, gets me through the day, no problem at all, and my battery health is still at 100%. Now, obviously, it's only been a couple of months, so we'll have to see, but still. So guys, I have to admit, I was dunking on this phone a little bit when it came out, saying it was just a minor upgrade to the iPhone 14 Pro Max, and while I still don't think it's a massive leap from its predecessor, I definitely appreciate this phone, and I do believe it to be a worthy upgrade. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it one of these. It does help the channel. Subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for some links to videos you might also want to watch.